Welcome back. The previous module had given you a glimpse of the concept of school counseling and had made you realize the needs of the same. With this base knowledge, the present video is about to explain the objectives of school counseling. Moreover, the video will also elaborate on the standards and yardsticks to be set by the counselors to implement the objective rightly and achieve the goal effectively. At the end of this video, you will be able to apprehend the three major objectives of school counseling, its set standards and yardsticks of measuring the outcome of the process. The key objective of school counseling is to facilitate the students to make successful transitions by acquiring the knowledge, attitudes, and skills that are essential to find a better place in this competitive world of workspace. The key objectives of school counseling can be categorized under three main heads as shown to you. The first objective is on personal and social development. Though the role of school counselors has its major focus on the academic and career development of the students, the personal and social development takes up the first position in terms of objectives as it serves as a foundation for other two key objectives. Self-awareness is one key trait that helps a student to understand himself, analyze his abilities and interests, recognize the influence of the environment on him, and vice versa. Thereby, suitable adjustments can be made. One major task of a school counselor is to build a proper philosophy of life among the student population so that he grows to live as a better citizen. Moreover, the problems keep baffling with the increasing complexity of the society. The waning of the joint family system, dual working pattern, disintegrated families, poor domestic economy are all factors that contribute to the complexity of the familial and societal system. The standards that has to be set in terms of the personal and social development are shown to you. Three standards are set. The first one is the students are to make decisions, solve problems, set goals, manage time, and adopt suitable strategies to achieve set goals. The second standard is to acquire knowledge, develop a positive attitude, and practice appropriate behavior in school and across the lifespan. The third standard is the student should be able to gain interpersonal and intrapersonal skills that lead to a path of emotional maturity. How can these standards be measured? That is given to you as yardsticks. The yardsticks of the personal and social adjustments are developing positive attitude towards their environment in particular and life in general, acquiring and practicing decision making, problem solving and coping skills, building up resilience to bounce back to normal in adverse situations, identifying and expressing feelings, emotions in an appropriate way, demonstrating suitable behaviors in groups and use tactics to get along with others, taking up the responsibility of their own behavior and become self-directed, recognizing personal limits, boundaries, rights, duties, and responsibilities and act accordingly, respect others' feelings, realize the individual differences, and understand the social, cultural diversity. So, now let us move on to the second one, the academic development. As already mentioned, academic development is a prime focus of school counseling in terms of the school administration. Counseling is needed to help the students foster his abilities, potentials, and skills in acquiring knowledge without difficulty. Hence, a student should be helped in developing good study habits, realize their aptitude, and nurture right attitude towards studies. Last but not the least, the student should be able to select their educational courses that suit to his or her needs, interests, and abilities. Moreover, counseling should see to that the learning in the classroom of every student is made adjustable to the needs, interests, and abilities and learning styles pertinent to each and every student of the class. Subsequently, the specific problems related to the management, curriculum, teachers, teaching style, learning style, peer pressure, and many more have to be addressed by the process of school counseling. Any inadequacies in the above mentioned area should be identified at the earliest, and strategies to be implemented in resolving it should be implemented. The school counseling should also address the needs of exceptional children. Given these essentialities, the standards to be set and the yardsticks of outcomes are shown to you. The standards are: the students are to acquire knowledge, develop a positive attitude, and demonstrate skills for successful learning in school as well as for the whole of his or her lifespan. Then the second standard is realize the relationship of his or her academics to the personal life, societal status, and the world of work. The third standard is to display leadership skills and openness to feedback for effective learning and its suitable application for a successful life. And now on to the yardstick. The yardsticks are the student's ability in getting oriented and adapted to the school environment, identifying problems in learning and adopt suitable coping strategies to overcome the difficulty, demonstrate positive behaviors and persistent efforts needed for successful learning, developing proper study habits and applying study skills needed for effective learning at all levels, preparing for a successful and smooth transition to the next level of education, and the last is taking part in the collective decision-making process in terms of academic planning in need. Then the third objective is career development. Vocational guidance was a process that was in existence in the place of school counseling a decade ago. Though the nomenclature of process had changed, one significant objective of school counseling is vocational maturity and its related career development among students. Considering the future life of a student, school counseling should direct him or her to enhance the basic skills needed for vocational life with due importance to fostering the right attitude towards work. A student with basic work skills and appropriate attitude will be able to make the right choice of vocation that suits his interest, desires, ability, and aptitude. Keeping in mind all of these, the standards and yardsticks are shown to you now. The standards are 2. The students should be able to understand the relationship between personal qualities, education, training, and the wide options of career available to them. And the student should acquire skills to explore the workforce and identify a field that matches their potential, interest, needs, and desires. Yardsticks are the student's ability in realizing their talents, abilities, interest, and aptitude relating to the workforce, exploring career option in terms of conventional and contemporary perspectives, identifying a career of their aptitude and interest, being aware of the needed skills to enter into the workforce, and knowledge of how do they get it, getting involved in teamwork and fostering interacting skills, recognizing the importance of commitment and taking up the responsibility of their efforts, recognize that the workforce of today requires lifetime learning and incessant acquisition of updated knowledge and skills. Hope the objectives of school counseling dealt in this video has made you to recognize the 3 objectives and its standards and yardsticks of outcome to be accomplished by a school counselor. The next video is all about the principles of school counseling. Bye as of now. Thank you.